Hi, I'm Rachel of the Northeast and welcome to my channel. I'm doing a weekly look ahead for the elemental signs. So this is actually for our air signs, so Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, and Venus. Because Venus is in retrograde, I think that's going to be pretty important. So if your Venus is in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, stick around. So I just want to do like an upcoming look into your week. See what messages we have, any, if there's anything we can help with, sorry. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Makes sense. Okay, because it's very split energy. Gemini, it's very split energy. This makes a lot of sense. You guys, holy shit, have been getting your asses kicked. However, hold on. I just get one more final card. One more on that, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, awesome. You guys have in the process of closing up, I want to say a 20-year cycle. A 20-year cycle. The first card that came out was envy and playing it safe. And that's telling me that right now you're kind of trapped in a situation where you're afraid to act outside of the box. It's other people's narratives have forced you into this tight, confined space that you're not supposed to be in. I think you have learned so much about yourself, and I think you've unfortunately ruffled a lot of feathers, and I think that's kicked back on you. I think you've really gotten your ass kicked. There's a lot here about you acting for other people, and not only was that not serving you, I think it's brought some of you it's like your trauma's manifested in some actual physical ailments, like autoimmune, something like that. I honestly think you guys, other people's shit has literally made you sick, and that makes me so sad. But on the other side, there is this huge energy here of things fucking changing finally. And unfortunately, the inner always has to match the outer, right? So right now you're in this inner, you can always tell I'm getting excited when I shift, like how I said. You are right now in this huge milestone of this inner growth, and your outer will match it eventually. But there is something, I literally see you standing here in front of me with a sword and a fucking shield, right? And right behind you is your inner child. That's a 3, 2, 1. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing. And that will, I'm sorry, it's very emotional because this isn't fair. What you've been through is not fair. But that is shifting, and that's because there's been a lot of work, not just by you, but by your spirit team as well. It's almost like I feel like your ancestors are just so tired of watching you suffer. Why am I crying? That is definitely shifting though, and I think it's collective and collective justice. You deserve that, and I will say this makes sense. This makes sense. I think right now your biggest thing is to recognize that sometimes your brain is a little bitch and likes to lie to you, right? Sometimes your brain is a little bitch and will tell you that you can't trust stuff, and it'll tell you that your intuition is wrong. It's not. That's where you need to start to decipher. You need to start to decipher that you do know what's right, and the people who raised you were abusive. No other way to put it. Great people can be abusive. Amazing, kind, wonderful people are still toxic too if they don't heal their shit. So people can try, but I don't think a lot of you were championed as children, and that makes me very angry. So I'm trying to channel that inward. So there's a lot here of you needing to recognize that you've done the work, that you are a good person, and that you don't deserve to fucking live your life like this. right? It's like you're starting to recognize that there's more to life, and please keep that up. Please keep that up, because that is tied into your self-worth. The work you've done by yourself is just, I don't even know how to fucking, I don't even know the word. I don't know the word. It's outstanding. It's huge. Insane. You are holding on to one narrative that is kind of getting, let me get a little more clarification, please, on just this one. Damn, surrounding love. There is one narrative left that you are kind of holding on to, whether that's how you view things, perhaps how you view a certain person. For some of you, it does feel like a mother wound. I will say that, just full stop. But that doesn't always mean your mom, right? It could be the person who was supposed to be nurturing to you. I've read people that they're 5th grade teachers where they're real detriment to this person's psyche. I had such a bitch of a 5th grade teacher too. Oof, 5th grade was a tough year for me. Not to trauma dump on YouTube. I don't like letting people in, so I'm gonna stop doing that, my bad. So back to this, there's one more narrative that you are holding on to, whether that's, I think a lot in what you deserve in love. And for some of you, I think duality makes sense to a lot of you, right? For some reason, I'm really thinking the Aquarius sign too, because you guys are so, I love Aquarius, you're all my favorite. My kids in Aquarius, my brother, I love Aquarius so much. They, for some of you, you guys are really struggling with, fuck, now it's gone. Yeah, duality. So whether that's recognizing that the harm has been done for 20 years and now the good cycle's coming because it fucking has to, like the pendulum has to swing eventually, it can't always stay here, whether that's what you hold on to, or you hold on to the fact that you've done the work and you deserve it, or you hold on to the fact that like what goes around comes around, something. Find one thing that you could, that one almost mantra that you can tell yourself, so when your brain is like, we can't trust this good, you can say, shut the fuck up, yes I can. Because like, get aggressive with your inner fucking asshole. That's the biggest right here. And it all starts with what you were told as a kid. Makes me mad. There seems to be a lot of confronting you have to do with the people who are supposed to raise you. And you don't have to do that to their face, but I think exploring, I think some of you too, some of you are moving into a role where you need to be a provider or a nurturer, whether that's like, I don't know, getting a pet, having a kid, maybe taking on a new role at work, maybe getting married, engaged, something. A lot of you are starting to shift into a role that's going to be triggering. I'm going to be fully honest with you. It's going to be triggering for you to look at and be like, why didn't I have that? That's where you need to stop and be like, that wasn't me. I didn't choose to come here. Especially if it happened in childhood. You need to recognize that what the people who raised you did wasn't okay, and that you would never do that, and you deserve different. Because it feels like that's kind of like the last kind of nail in the wheel. So that scenario, that little analogy didn't make sense, but that's okay. It has been such a long and arduous, like 20 fucking years, like 20, 25 years. That's crazy to me. Jesus Christ. You need like a mental vacation at like a fucking Buddhist temple where people won't talk to you for 2 weeks. Like that's what you need, like to disassociate to that level. But we can't, because that's not healthy. So let's see, will Spirit have any direction for us? Words of wisdom, guidance, anything you want to come forth and bring our air signs? What goodness can you give them? Yeah, nurturing is definitely getting comfortable with nurturing. And getting comfortable, I think, with you wanting to nurture. I think a lot of you, too, with your masculine energy, and again, this doesn't mean man or woman, a lot of your masculine energy has been, it was traumatized ancestrally. So there is nothing wrong with wanting to nurture. So it's actually a good thing. So learning to nurture and wanting to nurture and then allowing others to do the same. That's where you are right now. Okay. That makes sense. Yep. So for this upcoming week, there is a scenario where You're kind of hanging around, waiting to see if people will either catch up with you, notice your growth, something. You're staying around in a situation that no longer serves you. And the theme of this week is learning to choose yourself. Learning how to make yourself happy. Okay. Because I think it's been, yes, conflict over in reverse. So this is good. New beginnings on the inner side. Consciousness of black in reverse, which means overturning a consciousness of black. And I always attribute that to an ancestral card. So I think dead on with the ancestor thing. I think too, a lot of your ancestors stayed around in situations and relationships that were toxic to them because they didn't have a choice to go anywhere else, whether that's like they were raised in abuse and that's what they stuck with, something. But recognizing that you were meant to be different and that not everyone is supposed to live that way, and in fact we shouldn't live that way anymore, that's the name of the game this week. Try and make a plan too. It sounds silly, but like honestly, try and make a plan, like a vision board for love, maybe. I think that's what I'm seeing, like a Pinterest board on like what, yeah, do a Pinterest board for like what's the vibes you want to bring in. Like, do you want to travel the world with your soulmate? Pin that. You know, do you want to have a family and do like a white picket fence and have Sunday dinners? Pin that. Like there is so 1 2 1 1 2 2 as I say that. So that's real. Yes, do it. Sorry, I got excited. New beginnings when it comes to inner response, when it comes to inner landscape. Yes, it's because you fucking deserve this. That's crazy. The cycle and the pain you have endured, I will tell you, is over. It is over. You have people around you that will never, ever let you be harmed like that again. That's another thing you should look at, is look at the people you have in your life now and how different they are. Some of you too have the same people in your life, they've just healed. But a lot of you have whole new like groups of people that will literally throw down for you. So love can be uncomfortable, especially if you didn't experience that as a kid. It's understandable. And recognizing that this is a slow and steady race. And some days we go 2 steps backward and only take 1 step baby forward, but the 2 steps back don't make sense. Like that, I mean, that makes sense, that they don't matter. What makes sense and what matters is the 1 step forward. Because of course we're gonna go backwards. Gravity, bitch, it's gonna pull us back down. That's what happens. And just kind of being okay with it and being like, okay, I have a day where I'm a little bit lower than before. That's okay. Tomorrow will be a different day. And on those days, that's when you kind of try and fill your love cup. You know, watch fucking Bluey, something. I have many suggestions on how to heal your inner child abandonment wound with love. I don't know if you can recognize my trauma. So you're killing it. I'm so proud of you. I want to hug each and every one of you individually because what happened to you wasn't fair. But it's over and I love you. See you soon.